Yay, it's here, day one of Inktober. And I can tell you, I already learned so much from doing this drawing. Um, I used mostly my Micron pens, and then I used the Pentel pocket brush. And I used the 03, the 05, and the 08 in the Micron. And I think next time I'm going to throw in, I have a Copic marker fine liner. It's like a gray color. And I think I'd like that, softer shading around the eyes and stuff, around the face. And then also I'll probably use a 005 too for some, because this was a pretty tiny drawing and I wanted more detail. And I feel like it got a little harsh around the eyes and stuff. So for the hair, I was using the 03, and on the face here, I'm using a lot of the 03 for a lot of this drawing. And I was just very lightly touching the paper and pulling really fast. And one thing I learned, which I kind of knew, but in action, I learned to pull the brush where you want the pen or the brush where you want the line to be, and you've got to be pretty precise with your line. You can kind of go in and fudge and fix it, but like if you, in the hair for instance, hair's real flowing, so I don't want a staggered sketchy line there, or it just doesn't look right. And I did do that up a little bit in her bangs, but I was able to fix it. I went in when I darkened, and I was able to make it all smooth and everything, but it looks funny, it doesn't look right. So I learned that, and then I was doing a lot of line weight. So like at her collar there, you can see on the underneath side, I did a thicker line because that's where the shadow would be. And then like on the side of her face, on the right-hand side, I did a thicker line. I ended up doing a thicker line because I have the light coming from the left. And then you'll see like on her hat and stuff. I'll talk about that when I get there. But so yeah, it's been a really good learning experience. And I fussed on my drawing a bit before I went in with my inking, because I wanted it to be as much as I liked it, and make sure everything was where I wanted it to be, because I know you can't really erase ink. So it was a challenge. It was a good challenge, but it took me about 30 minutes to ink this, probably about, I don't know, 30-40 minutes to draw it. So I'll probably get faster as the challenge goes on, hopefully. I kind of want to take on Drawloween as well, so I decided for Inktober I'm going to do witches, and there's a great list out there. It's 31 witches, so if you do that hashtag in Instagram, there's an awesome list, because I wanted to do witches, but I couldn't think of 31 ideas. So they're there for you. So that's awesome. Tomorrow will be a student witch, so I'm excited about that. And then Drawloween is awesome too. There's a big list there too, so you can check that out if you want. So I'm going to try to do both, and because I'm just really trying to up my drawing skills. I want to draw poses. I want to draw characters, character design. I want to start drawing scenes. So hopefully you'll see me developing over the next 31 days, and we can grow together. I'll give all the tips and everything I'm learning as I go. I probably won't post a video every day, but there will be at least weekly, hopefully a couple a week. So here I came in, I think I'm coming in with my 05 and 08 now, just to get the darker lines in. So, since she's wearing a hat, her hair would be very dark up there. So I start doing that, and this is where you're going to see some of my sketchy lines, and I do fix them later. But you see how her hair looks all broken up now, so you really do want smooth lines, and not sketchy, so that your artwork looks confident, professional. So again, something that I'm learning, and I just build layers is what I'm doing, because I wanted to have like the glistening hair, highlights, and so I just keep going in, and I'm still using kind of a light touch with these markers. As I go darker, I do push a little bit more, but I'm real light, and I'm just gliding over the paper and pulling quickly. So because it's hair, and hair is fun. Hair is little tiny thin pieces, so I didn't want anything too bold. I mean, you could do that as a style if you wanted, but I was kind of going for more realistic in this one. So again, you may see me experimenting with styles as well. Here I'm going really lightly over her eyes with that 03, and this is where I think I would choose to use like the Copic gray, or I'm also going to go buy some PH Martin ink, and then I'll make washes too. So I'm going to try all different things, but so it's going to be awesome learning. So if you want to join me and continue following, I will be doing a lot of different techniques. So here's some cross hatching underneath to shade her neck. Again, I have the light coming from the left, so her face will be a little more shaded on the right. And I'm going again real light, pulling really fast, really light over her face, so that those lines are super thin, because if you go slow, the ink saturates into the paper, and everything like that. Here I come in with the Pentel pocket brush pen. So I wanted to go really dark around her face because I wanted her face to be the focal point. So if you do dark on light, then whatever's, in the foreground, if you want light in the foreground and dark in the back, that's going to make the foreground pop. You can also reverse it and go really dark and light in the background and it'll still pop. So those are some design choices which are fun. And so again, I'm learning a lot about design, using a lot of books. I'm also over on SVS Learn with Jake Parker and Will Terry and their guest artists that they have on there, learning a lot about designing backgrounds, characters, environments, compositions. I'd highly recommend that site. But so anyway, yeah, so I'm going dark and then I'm keeping her face light. Up here, I'm kind of dry brushing. I'm going kind of light when I'm putting it up here so that you get the highlights of light hitting that hat up top there. So I wanted to leave some white. And up here, I'm following the curve so her hat looks dimensional. And I'm leaving some white there again because the light again is coming from the left. So I left some white area there so her hat's kind of shiny and picking up some light there. I really like how that turned out. So I just used a Pentel pocket brush and I would lightly press, and then in other places I would press more in a dark way. So here I'm going around the buttons and around the collar, and I'm just being, down here I'm just being real vague because I just want my drawing to drop off. So I'm not, filling it in super bold, but I am filling it in. Again, to bring that emphasis up on her face and everything. And that's it. So I hope you guys are having fun doing Inktober.